Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another thrilling episode of Grayscale. I'm going to do something, nice little craft project, and I guess I'll teach you a little bit about perspective. Okay, this is a real simple type of thing, and we're going to go through here. All right, I'll try to explain it as clear as I can. I'm just going to put a little bit of the acrylic version of liquid white on the page. Don't need too much of it. This is 11 by 14 inch canvas paper. Okay, I'm just putting a thin layer on. This is a painter's brush. You know, you paint the windowsills with. That's all it is. I'm using glycerin and craft paint for my version of liquid white. It keeps the paint slick, moving around and all that good stuff. I don't want to put too much of it on. I'm scraping off some. I'll probably take a towel and wipe some of it off. I put on a little much. Okay. I don't necessarily have to put it on the bottom. Really, it's more or less for the top. The top is going to have kind of the effect. All right, I'm cleaning off the brush real quick here, because like I said, I really don't have to put it on the bottom. Nice little woods scene. And what I'm going to do, the reason why the tape's here is I got to establish some ground. Okay, and I'm going to position the sun somewhere around there. Okay, enough of that. Let's play. Let's get a little bit of cad yellow. I'm working with cad yellow, cad red, sap green, titanium white, and phthalo blue. And that's all I'm dealing with for right now for today. Let's get some of this yellow going right up in here. Okay, I'm going to put a little white, probably right in here. Oh wow, look at that. I just contaminated it a little bit all up in there. But we'll move that around. That's nothing. We'll still get that little flash of I'll tilt this up like that. Okay, let's get a little bit of red. Why not? We'll make it some kind of a morning scene of some sort. I'll just move this paint around like that. And I'll just rub it in there, and we'll just put some of that in here. I'll stroke it in some kind of a direction like that. Just like so. Something really quick. All right, that's about it. Now, while it's still wet, and I contaminated the paper kind of quickly, but while it's still wet, you can still get those dark, little dark splotches out of there. I'm just taking a flat mop brush, and I'm gonna smooth this out a little bit. I'll smooth out the red first. Mainly what I'm doing is just getting the streaks out. Okay, smooth it out a little bit. Let me get my towel here. I'm gonna wipe off what paint that's collected on the little mop brush here. Wipe it right off. And I'm gonna go half into the yellow, half into the red, very lightly, very lightly. I can't emphasize lightly. And I'm just going to kind of fade that a little bit there. Okay, as you see, it mixes in. The more you fade it, the more it mixes in. All right, that's basically what I want, something kind of soft. I'm going to this yellow here. Now it's got red in it now, because I didn't wash it off, but that's okay. We can correct that too. Got that yellow in there, get some of that yellow out of there. Or not yellow, red. Get some of that red out of there a little bit. But I'll continue to fade on here. Just a little blending. Even though I did that little mistake, that's not going to matter much, trust me. I'm going to dip into my titanium white a little bit with the brush, and we're going to get a nice little spot right up in here somewhere. Brighten that up, just in one spot, right here in this corner. Fade it in, just like so. Okay, we got a little spot right there. I'm going to take my finger, get a little bit of the titanium white. We'll put a circle in there like this. Okay, that'll represent the sun of some sort, right there. All right, little spot right in there. The wider the circle, adjust the weight of your finger there. Okay, all right, alrighty then. That's about all I need really for a background. Very simple project. All right. Let me darken, get a flat brush. I want to deepen that red up above a little bit. And while the paint's still a little, I'll just deepen that up here in the corner. Just a little deeper red. I could put a little blue in it to make it kind of, but I don't want to do that. It won't be necessary. Just like that, I just want to deepen that a little bit. I'll curve it around a little bit like that. I'll just fade it like this for right now. Like I say, this is just there. All right, we'll fade it in like that. Just cleaning off my flat brush real quick. Nice little craft project for the kiddies to do, you know. All right, but we're gonna make a play off of that. You'll see. All right, let's take the tape off because we really don't need to add anything else. All we needed was that simple bit of sunlight. All right, about 1 inch. Okay, I'm gonna put some dark foundation down. I'm gonna go into my raw umber. I'm not gonna put any glycerin in it, but I am gonna wet it with a little bit of water to loosen up the paint. I use heavy body paints. Okay, I'm gonna get some sap green into this raw umber. Need it fairly dark, and all I want really is a foundation. Okay, and now here you can kind of play with a little bit of how you want the grass to look or whatnot. You don't have to have it razor sharp. Just like that. Have it go down just like that. But you need it kind of dark. Okay, and I'm just gonna spread that down here a little bit. Kind of fill up the frame there. There we go. Okay, as you see, it's a little higher here, a little bit lower there. You make a play off of that if you would like. All right, let's establish a little bit of, I'm gonna hold the brush flat so we can get some little textures going on in there like that. See? Just like so. Make some skip a little bit, just like that. Make some patches a little higher if you would like. All depends on how you want your grass to look. Okay, just like that. And as we're doing that, we'll tap in some grass texture. Now, this might be a little bit dark. Okay, I'll have it a little flatter up here. I'm just tapping. No, not rubbing or anything like that. Now, right around in here, I'll go a little, I'll get a hill going right in here. And as we do this and we go down, okay, just like that, right up in here. And as we do that, then we'll not totally get rid of all of the darks, but we'll tap in some patterns here and there, just like that. As we get some lighter color in there, you'll see the texture and whatnot. Just like that. I'm gonna go up into this lighter color. We'll add a few up in here. Don't keep it all in a straight line. Have some run into other spots, just like that. Okay, let's get. I'm getting a touch of white into this lighter green. I'm getting yellow because I want it to have a yellow tinge, and we'll get a little more yellow. We'll pop in some nice highlights here. Now, for the highlights, okay, little tap, just like that, because you want to keep an interesting pattern going. All right, especially here around the edge where the sun's, just especially around here where the sun's really touching, and we'll bring a hill right in there like that. So we'll really kind of shine up that spot right there. And up around here where the hill is, little touches, just like that. We'll bring that hill down like this. See how you can change stuff around? We'll really put right up in there like that. Okay. And we'll get a couple of them in here, a couple of touches right there. Oh, we'll make one up around in here like this. Get interesting grass patterns going. Something like that in here. Especially where the sunlight, you really want the sunlight to kind of hit there. And I still want to maintain a hill kind of fashion there. So we'll keep slanting it upward. And we'll have a little something right up in here like that. All right. Cleaning off the mop brush. I'm gonna take some of this water on the brush and we'll soften in. Just keep patting. We'll soften in some of that up in there. Kind of mellow it out a little bit. Some in here. Just keep touching, and the green from below is gonna come through on some of these. Just like that. As I'm doing that, let's get a little bit of blue. Just blue. And I'm gonna continue that on with some darker shades of, we'll represent it. This is grass up in here. Okay. Still keeping with that pattern. Like I say, it's a real quick little painting to do. I'm just gonna turn the brush over and get some interesting grass patterns going here. Just like that. And it brings this little darker in here. Put some up in here, teeth a little bit up in there, little patches of shadow, especially down in here. Get it kind of dark there. Position your paintbrush to where you don't necessarily get like little frowns and smiles. Okay, all depends on the size of the brush you have. I'll put some up in here a little bit, and like I said, I can deaden some of the bottom of the hill up here in this corner like that. Okay, like I say, we're just working with a little bit of the grass textures and all that good stuff. I'm gonna get a little bit of white. I'm gonna tap it in right to the bristles. This is a thicker brush, as you can see. So I'm gonna tap some white right in there, and I'm gonna do some grass tops right in there like that. Still continue with the hill movements there. Thin it out there. Get a bunch here, and then you just thin it out, and you can curve it around. So the sun hitting there the most, and then you can thin it out. I'll do it here. Big batch here, and then you can kind of thin it out a little bit. We're gonna go up in a curve, like so. A little bit here. Okay. And thin it out a little bit. Just adding maybe a little something right up in there, like that. Okay. All right, now let's go back into my titanium white a little bit more. It's being tinted with a little bit of green. I'm using only the bristles, and we're gonna pop in some real bright highlights right in here. Just like that. We'll bring some of that right here. You gotta kind of give a path to where that sunlight's going. Right up in here a little bit. Up around here, have it come upward. So the sun is directly bouncing, hitting all up in there. So you're just kind of establishing where the sun is really beating down on. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna get a little bit more titanium white, and I'm kind of light up that edge right up in there, giving it like a little push there, just right in here, just like that. All right, so when we raise up the camera a wee bit, you can kind of see where everything's kind of leading here. Also, you see the interesting pockets of dark going on in there. So you got a nice hilly terrain, got all sorts of little crevices going down in there. All right, make it very interesting. All right, so we got a little bit of that done. That's probably about it for the light stuff. Okay, if I want it to be kind of cutesy, I can splatter some. Well, we'll do a little bit of that, just a little bit. Let's take you can use a toothbrush for it too, or a toothbrush, or a regular paintbrush, really, or a fan brush, whatever you would like. I'm getting a little bit of yellow. Okay, I want to use a different tray. I want to dip this yellow to a little bit of the water. You want it in a way where it's thick enough for it to hold, but not runny enough for it to go traveling down the page. All right, and I'll pop in some little patterns of. I'm really close to the paper here, so it kind of controls that a little bit. Some representation of some little bright flowers or whatnot. I'm gonna do the same thing with some red. Red is an eye catcher. I'm just tapping into some red. Get a little bit of water, loosen up the paint just a little bit. Like I said, you still want it thick enough to where it'll grab, but it won't run down the paper on you. All right, I'll pop in some red in spots, just like that. Just in little spots here and there. Some down below here. Some nice colorful grass, why not? We'll wait for this to dry. It's gotta dry anyway. Okay, that's enough of that playing around. I'm gonna wipe this off on my towel here, clean this surface off real good. All right, all I'm using really is a coffee lid container. They're very handy. They're plastic. The paint comes right off even when it hardens. It peels right off. Running under some warm water, it comes right off. No fuss, no muss. Even if you forget and leave it there for a few days. All right. Okay. So this is kind of basically what I want to set up, what we're going to do next. We're going to put, remember we're talking about perspective. Okay, so on my separate palette here, I'm going to get some dark mixture going on. I'm using some raw umber. I'm putting it on a separate palette here. Raw umber, a little bit of blue into that raw umber. Mix it up there, which remember this umber got green in it, so it makes it a deeper green. I'm getting a little bit of cad red in there. Okay, so I got cad red, some umber, and some phthalo blue. All right, really makes a really nice deep brownish green. It depends on what flavor you want, to be honest with you. Okay, get yourself a brush with a pretty good chiseled edge or a filbert or whatnot, up to you. Okay, and here we go. It's what Ross would call a bravery test. I'm gonna loosen up the paint just a little bit, just a slight little bit. I'm just gonna, because it just helps get the paint to flowing a little bit. No medium, just water. No medium this time, just water. All right, we're gonna put some trees down in here. Okay, I'm gonna try and not cover up the sunlight here. Okay, so we'll put some trees, thin ones, which is why I got the little 1/2 inch. And we're gonna take it and we're gonna go straight up with it. See, nice thin line. Cause these trees are in the back, so they're kind of on the thin side here. I'll get a little bit of body to the base, but basically they're thin little guys. We'll put one right here too. When you do the trees, move your body, move your whole arm up. Okay, I'll have him in front like that. You can vary the distances, but keep them relatively at a uniform size. I'll go back down. These guys, like I said, are pretty thin. You can vary the distances of these fellas. I'm getting a little more water. I'm not drenching my whole brush into the water. Okay, and you can usually tell if your paint's drying up. It'll start pulling against the canvas. All right, and we're gonna kind of do this off and on. You have to kind of cut in front of the sun sometime. There you go. I got a nice crooked one there. We'll have one kind of a little closer to it there, going straight up like that. And we're gonna put these guys, I have one crooked going the other way here, like that. So when these fellas are right up off the page, all right, let's put one a little closer. He's a little closer, so he's just a hair thicker, but not too much. These guys are in the back there. And they're all backlit, okay? I'll put a little thin fella right up around here. He's really tiny. Have him come on up like that, just like this. But he's in the back there. And we're gonna put extra grass or whatnot to cover some of that. Make it a little more solid there. We'll put another thicker one right up here like that. Have him tilted. Now we're gonna put some straighter ones up in there. Get a little close and put one, have them cut right in front of the other tree. It doesn't matter. See, just like that. Just like that. Adds interest to your painting. There, just like that. Now my paint is starting to grab a little bit, so I'm getting a little more water. Remember, I'm using umber, red, and blue to get that really solid deep brown going on here. And we'll do another one right back here, a little thin fella coming up like that. And move the whole arm up like that. And we'll put another one right here. Have him going straight up. There we go. And actually we have him come up forward a little bit like that. All right, well, that's one nice little batch. Okay, let's have some fun with these before I go on. I'm gonna clean off my brush here. And what I'm doing to achieve that is that I'm using the edge. Okay, not the flat part, but the edge. All right, okay, let's get a script liner. This little fellow. Let's get some water on that script liner. We're gonna get some this dark mix. You make it really inky. All right, inky consistency. Get plenty of it. And we're gonna put some baby branches all on those back there. Just adding a little interest to these little fellas back there. And what we're gonna do is bring the paper closer, like that. Let's bring this in a little bit. That should be close enough for you guys. We're gonna go right here where you see the top of the page here. Okay. You just pick out one. Just start with one. Let's start with this guy. And you just touch the paper and you just spider it along like that. Okay. I'm just getting another roll. I'm rolling my paint around. And we'll do one around here. Going up like that. And you just continue it on. Let's go a little bit lower for this guy. He comes straight out. And he curves around like that. Just have fun with these fellas. We have one come around like that and snake downward and like that. And have one come out this way. Handle each tree separately. Okay, we have one coming this way like so, coming out. Twirling the paint around. One like that. We'll have one coming out here, going down like this, like that, and have him reaching over like that. And we have one coming up here like this, one there, like that, come out that way. Bring some a little lower, like that. Get plenty of water, get some more water if you feel it grabbing. And you're just twirling it around. Try to use the very tip, okay. Like that. We'll have one come this way. Very simple, very effective painting to do. That should be good. All right, these trees are a little closer. Okay, let's put one, let's say right here. Let's get them right here. Flat, 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 flat. Go flat. Keep going with it. Flat. Don't change the width. Go flat right off the page. Okay, just like that. He's got a little thickness to him, so he's a little larger. Okay, we're gonna put another one around here. We'll put one right about here. Right about here. Flat. Hold flat. Go on. Cut right through them other guys. That's okay. Cut right through them. I'm going back down. Right off the tape. Going right back down. Right in front. Right in front. Right in front. Right in front. There you go. Much like that. If you want to give him a little something to kind of root himself, that's fine too. Just like that. Okay. Now you got two of these jokers. All right. As the trees or whatever object you choose gets closer to us, they get larger, which in turn sets some of these big guys back. You follow me? Okay. We'll put one. We'll do one more on this side, right on the hill here, just covering up a little bit of that sun there. Okay. So and we'll have him. Actually, no. Let's put one tilted, going this way. We'll tilt him a little bit. We'll have him. Actually, we'll have him come off. No, we'll have him hit right here. We'll tilt him. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. We're tilting him. We're tilting him. We're tilting him. That's all right. If a little paint comes off, that's all right because you're going back. Go back across. Still stay in that same vein there. If it gets a little bit lighter, that's all right. Use more paint. Right in here. Darken them right up. Darken them right up there. Just like that. It's all right. There you go. Just like that for that guy. Give him a little something there to ground him in the ground there. Just like that. Put a little something there. This one too, if you got to. Have him travel there. Give him little roots there. Same thing with this fellow. Okay, remember you're gonna add stuff there to kind of cover some of those up. All right. But do you kind of see where we're going here with that? All right. So we got about 3 there, which is fine. Okay, that's fine. Let's take this same brush. The branches are a little thicker. I'm getting a sharp edge now. Get yourself a 1/2 inch that holds a pretty sharp edge. And we're gonna make thicker branches. All right, give it a little press and you're going up, out the frame with it, like that. And we're gonna have one come this way. Come on out the frame with it. Nice thick branch. Come on out like that. All right. Even if you got to make it a little heavier toward the base, that's fine. We're gonna have one branch come out in front of the other guy like that. I'm getting some more paint. Equal amounts on both sides to maintain a sharp edge. Okay. We'll put another one. Oh, nice stump right there, and we'll have him turn. We'll have him turn, go past the other guy, and go right off the panel there. And we'll have one coming up like that for this fellow. Okay. Look at trees. Look at how we'll have one come up like this. Because they're all the same color, you can paint in front of them, in back of them, whatever. But you know that this guy is in back of this one. Okay, and this one's in back of both of them. So keep that in mind when it comes to highlighting. Very simple highlighting also. But we're gonna keep it moving right along here because we got one. We'll have him back here like this. Stop. Yeah, that's fine. That's all right. Make them interesting. Have him stop right there. But we'll have one, this guy here. We'll have him come out and he's gonna bend down and go the other way like that. And then we're gonna have something shoot off and across. And they're gonna have something going that way like that. And maybe a thicker one coming out here like this for this guy. Just like that. Just like so. All right. Don't need much really I lost my train of thought on that one. But you don't really need too much, you know, to fill it all up. All right, the colors and the positioning are doing all of that for you. You got me? All right. Now, before I move on anymore with that, let's start adding some cute highlights to what we have so far already. Okay. You can approach this. I'm just cleaning off the brush for a minute here. You can approach this a couple different ways. Now remember, we got that spot right there. All right, so let's just remember that spot. Okay. You can approach this a couple ways. Like I said, I'm going to get a little bit of titanium white. I'm gonna mix it into the dark, just a little bit. Okay, because these trees are kind of backlit. Okay, and I'm gonna marble some of this dark. It turns gray when you add the white to this. Okay, I don't have to make them yellow or anything like that because of the sun. Nah, try to maintain some kind of weird tree color of some sort. I'm gonna get a little slice of the paint just like that, and you can either tap or you can drag downward, whatever you want to use to represent excuse me here, the bark. All right, I mean, it's even effective being like this. Okay, because remember the sun's here, so they're kind of backlit, and since they're a little bit on the backlit side here, okay, I won't use too much paint, but we're just going to tap around the edges here, just around. See, little taps around the edges here. Well, I'll just tap these in. We'll tap them in a little bit, just like that. Just getting a little bit of a little roll of paint, and we're gonna, like I say, I'm just tapping. Let the blade do the work for you. Tapping in some more color. I'm not trying to get too much paint on the blade here. And you just, you know, little taps here and there, just like that. Come on in, flatten it out, just a little bit here. Now, if you have younger people and you're not really too sure about them using a palette knife, we'll do one another way too. But I'm just, like I say, I'm just tapping a few. Switch hands here. I'm just tapping a few highlights. Just a few. Give it a little press here. Right up here in this guy too. If you feel that you're losing paint here, just get a little bit more. But all you need is a few, okay, to make a very, very, very effective painting that looks a lot like you did a lot more than what you actually did. Okay, a little bit here too, right on the edge of the tree. You're just doing some tap, let the paint naturally roll off the brush. Okay, it gives you all these interesting little patterns happening. You're not even trying that hard, it just happens. Okay, I'm gonna scoot up a little bit so I can, and right to the very edge of the tree a little bit. Okay, don't worry about going over other branches and things of that nature. I'm doing this fella right here. Just like that. I'm gonna drag him a little bit. Whatever little bit of paint I can grab here. Okay. Very simple project you can do. Have a fun time with it. This branch goes in front of this guy right here. Okay. Just like that. Some of it will catch, some of it will not catch, and that's the beauty of this of doing this. All right, remember these trees are a little backlit, so you can actually have a shine on both sides. Okay, because we got the shine on one side right now, but you can actually, and you don't have to really go from the bottom up. Okay, here we go. We go a little bit because it is backlit. You can actually, like I say, add the shine on both sides. And all of it don't have to, just like that, because these guys are backlit, so both sides get a little bit of the action here. Okay, even on this one here. Now it's up to you if you want to have it shine a little more on others, like a little stronger on one side, a little less on the other. Really up to you. Okay, but essentially, like I say, these fellas are kind of on the backlit side. Okay, I'm dipping a little bit of over water. I'm gonna have to make some more of the dark stuff here. Oh, I'm gonna save this tree, because this tree, I'll do it with a brush. Because if you're a little unsure of having the youngsters mess with a palette knife, you know, I can understand. Okay, get a little bit of highlight on this fella right here, just about like right there. I think that's all. The rest of this tree is in front of everything else, so it really don't matter. Put one right here. Okay, now we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna take the 1/2" brush. Okay, I have to make some more. Get a little bit of umber. I gotta make some more dark. Then put the white in it. A little umber, a little blue, a little touch of red in there. Get it pretty deep. A little more umber. Now I'm gonna go into my titanium white. Gray it up here. Now this one here is a little bit lighter than the rest, but it's still gray. I'm using the brush. Now, 2 ways to go about it. You can use the side, or you can use the bristles here, because I put the paint into the bristles, and I'm going straight. It adds an interesting texture to this. You should be able to see what I'm about to do and what kind of pattern it makes down here. Right down here, I'm gonna do a little touch, and you overlap them a little bit, just like this. All right, vary your pressure. This is one way to do it. Okay, I'll show you the other way on the other side of the tree. And you go on up the tree. You got the little highlight here. Remember, this one is in front of the one in the back. So you cut across and you keep on going, just like this. Just like that. Okay, now that's just on one side. Let's show you what it looks like if I use the side of the brush. I'm gonna use it. Now, for a lot of you are right-handed, so this would be perfect. Side of the brush, far side of the tree. Using the side of the brush, get it almost perpendicular to the paper, and you just lightly drag right on across, just like so. And you see it break off. Okay, add all sorts of little shapes. Some of the paint's grabbing off, some of it's not. Right on the side of the tree there, just like that. And you can come on down with it a little bit. See that? Now that adds a roughness and texture to the tree. I'm gonna go over here on this branch here and rub a few there. This guy here, go right in front. It goes in front of the other tree. Okay, make sure you get that highlight going in front of whatever tree that's intended to be in front of. All right, not very difficult at all to do. Okay, very, very, very effective way to do the trees. The smaller trees in the back don't necessarily need it. Okay, the bigger ones do. All right, okay. I'm just cleaning off the brush. Before I do anything else, we're gonna work on bushes on the ground there. I'm gonna take, I guess I'll take another flat brush. This one here has thicker bristles. This fella right here. All right, and we're gonna get interesting brush shapes. The brush shapes don't necessarily have to be green. We're going right back into the umber. Okay, back into the umber. I'm getting some green. So umber and some of the sap green. I don't know why I'm losing my train of thought. I'm gonna get plenty of it here. So I'm going into my sap green pretty strong here. And I'm gonna go back into my umber. I'm mixing it on a separate palette, separate tray here. And all I want really is just dark. This just makes it a very deep green. And we're gonna establish, I'm gonna go flat. I'm gonna go flat with this. And I'm gonna give it a slight push, a slight little push. And we'll establish some bushes around in there. Even in front of the bigger trees here, we're gonna establish some. Even in the front, go up a little bit into the trees, I'm just giving it a slight push, just to establish like some bushes or whatnot around some of these guys. Okay, this is me going flat up against the wide part of the put some out here too, just covering some of the stumps and whatnot. Up here you can have some going on the other side of the tree, like that, just like that. Put some up in here. All right, now you can do it the long way also, this way, and you can establish some trees or some bushes that way, just like that. Okay, so just pop in some extra foliage and stuff around there, just adding interest. You know, there's also some greenery and odd stuff happening with the bushes. I'm going into some white, the titanium white. I'm going into a little bit of, ooh, I don't have too much, do I? I'm gonna have to make some. So I'm going into my cad yellow and the white. I'm gonna go into my blue. Blue and yellow makes what? That's right, makes green. Okay, I'm getting a little bit more yellow so I can green up this stuff. Now I'm going to go into my water, loosen up this paint. Remember, a thin paint sticks to what? A thick paint. Got some thick paint for those bushes, so all I need really is a little touch. Now I'm pouncing my brush into the palette, get it right on the bristles, because we're going to use, bring it right up to you, we're going to use that for our bushes. Let's zoom in a little bit, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Bring it in and come on down right about here. You should be able to see what I'm going to do for every one of them here. All right, let's start with the one that's closest to us, just a slight touch. Even if you have to go a little bit beyond the dark part, just a slight touch, a little touch like that. Okay, and maybe like that, a little touch here and there, go in different directions with it. Put one in front like this. Okay, move on to the next one. When they're further away, add some of that right down in there. When they're further away, put one right in front of that tree like that. Let's put one in front of here. You can do a slight push. See? Just push. Okay? Just like that. And we'll add a couple in here, going the other way. Just like that. You can put one in front of this root here, like that. If it's all up to you. These in the back, just take the smallest tap. All right? Because you're just establishing some foliage and whatnot through here. Just like that. If you like the way it looks, add a couple more in there, you know. Maybe put one right up in there a little bit like that. So it's really up to you if you want to pop a little one there. All right, all we're doing is establishing depth, distance. Okay, I'll put it back out here. All right, and we'll bring it back downward like so. Very effective. All right, if you desire, you know, you can add, if you want to add leaves to it or whatnot, you can do that too. Okay, up to you. Truly up to you. I am going to rinse off my brush. Okay, this is size number 6 flat. Okay, as you see, I bring my narrow edge back. All right, okay. Let's get a little bit of blue. We're gonna make a glaze. Need some blue. And I'm gonna get some red. I like my shadows when they're like a little bit on the violet side. Okay, they make a deep violet, makes a real nice shadow. And plus you can build upon that and build upon that and build upon that and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm getting some water, because I want to make, like I said, kind of a glaze, so it's really soupy, really watery, because when you make the shadow, you still want to see some of the texture underneath your shadow. Okay, it's kind of a trial and error thing, really. The more you do it, you'll know. Okay, now remember, we're talking about perspective. Okay, now you see your sunlight's right here. You see you got objects in front of this sunlight. So what direction is the shadow? Because whatever direction you choose, everybody else have to go into that corresponding direction. But the vantage point for every tree is a little different because they're not all in the same spot. Okay, so let's start off with the big boy here, right here. There's the sun. There's the bottom of the tree. So even if you take your little and you put it towards the sun, okay, you kind of see where that direction's going. You follow me? If you want to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way because it's just easier for you guys. Instead of trying to do it straight on, where they do get bigger, okay, we're going to do it this way. The direction's that way. So we're going to set the shadow going in that direction. So we'll take this big fella right here, okay, and we're gonna take this glaze, okay, just like that, and we're going right off the page with it, right off the page, in this direction, okay, just like that. Instant shadow for this fella. And this is just a glaze, so once it dries, you'll see the corresponding, the activity going on underneath all of that. You got another one, okay. Now remember, he's going this way. He goes a little bit out toward that way, but you're only going to see a little bit because of the one corresponding bushes. But he is in shadow back there. Okay, and you can even put some of these bushes in shadow. It's okay. All right. This fella here is more towards that direction, and now I'm using just the side of the brush here, and this one here continues on right there, right next to him. Same thing with this guy. He's coming across, but you're only gonna see so much. This fella, same thing. He comes across. Okay, this one here is like there's a hill, so he's got a little bit of shadow here. It stops, Anthony. Okay, but then he continues on a little slanted, and he comes down toward that way. Get it off of that bush there. This guy here, he's got a shadow. It comes, it stops, slant it, move it over. It comes down, it stops, moves over, and it comes down towards here. It gets a little wider. It comes, slants over, comes down a little bit more, slanted a little bit more. Each shadow over the hill is a little off center. Okay, but it's pretty much like that, and make sure you match the curvature of your hill. All right, I'm getting some more dark. Like I say, it's really soupy. Okay, these tall guys, even though that bush is in a way, that's all right. It comes down over that bush, and it comes downward like so. It kind of stops there, slants. It comes downward. Comes downward a little bit wider, and it's coming on down right on across. Get a little bit wider down there like that. Okay, you got some other ones here. You got a couple other ones that might crisscross, so you're doing another one here. Okay, it might cross in front of some of the other guys there like that. Okay, I'm just getting some more dark, establishing more shadow in there. You might have one cutting across this way. Okay, all sorts of corresponding shapes and shadows and such. This fella right here, now the sun's right here. Remember, the sun's right here. He can come a little more direct towards us. Okay, he's a big one too, so he's a little wider, just like this. Okay, and his shadow's coming out this way. It's a little wider still, just like that. Don't worry, you can still see all of this, and you'll see all the corresponding stuff underneath, but you're just getting it darker and wider as it gets near us. Okay, which also brings out the lighter parts of the trees. You got me? Not terribly difficult, very effective. All right, okay. Like I say, this is a very interesting, good project to teach about perspective and such for youngsters or young at heart. Okay. All right. Not truly done yet. I can actually take this same brush. I'm gonna take this same brush. I'm gonna get a little bit, if I can find a nice spot here for my on my little palette here. I'm gonna get a little bit of white. Yeah, I found a spot. A little bit of white and a little bit of yellow. Mix it into the titanium white. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some sun rays in there. Now, I got some on the brush here, a little thick. I'm gonna wipe a lot of that off. Wipe a lot of it off, because you wanna kind of scrumble on some of this color. All right, let me see something here. I don't want this to be contaminated with blue. I think we're all right. Okay, so I'm gonna peek some sun rays in there. Okay, I'll start from maybe right about here. Now sun rays kind of go up, out and around, right, like a sunburst. Okay, I'll start one right about here, and he'll just go across him, and I'll find a spot for him very lightly, very lightly, very lightly, just like that, and I'll stop. I'll do it again, very lightly, just build right upon what you got going on. Build right upon that. I'll keep repeating it till I get the brightness that I'm looking for. Okay, I'll turn the brush over here. Very lightly, I'll have a peek of that going there. Just like that. That's one now. So we got one going through that way. Getting some more paint, very dry. Okay, I'll have one, he's coming through that side of the tree. I'll have one peeking through right about here. Just like that, have him come through like that and touch through, much like that. Very light, very light. Okay, getting some more paint. Oh, let's have another one. I'll have him come, I'll sneak him through, watch this. Right around here, I'll have him come across, just like this. I'll end up getting some more white paint, hold on. A little touch of white, very, very small amount. A little touch of yellow, very small amount. Wiping most of it off the brush. And I'm gonna continue on right here, right from here, just like that. He's gonna be in front of this guy, but he's gonna come past, he's gonna grow a little bit, right past this guy, there, just like that. Okay, just like that. If you need to get a little brighter, just increase the intensity a little bit. All right. You kind of see where I'm going with this, yes? All right. Oh, I like the way that went. But let's go a little bit more white, a little touch more white on that yellow here. I'm just rubbing it in. All right. Let's have one go. Let me see here. Actually, it's something I want to do there. I'll fix that a little bit later, because I had it going too high. It should have been right about here, but that's all right. I'll take care of that. Let's go right about, oh, yeah, we'll have him come this way, nice wider one, right through both of them, right here, just like that. I'm gonna turn it around, nice wide one there. And keep it as straight as you possibly can, okay? I gotta be careful, I don't get the red in that. I got a little bit of red in there, but that's all right. I can just scrumble some of that out, just like that. There. Oh, that's another thing too. I'm gonna scrumble some brightness in there, just like that. I'm using the white and yellow that's already on the brush. I'm gonna brighten that tree there, just a little bit of that. And maybe a little bit touches on there too, just a little bit, just like that. Okay, all right, just a little bit. Go right back in here, and I'm gonna just strengthen some of that sun ray right up around there. I'm gonna get another little touch of titanium white, a little more of a touch there, and go right across this fella right here. Give him a nice stronger ray right in here, just like that. There, just like so. Get a little more yellow, a little more titanium white. I'm just having a little fun here. Okay. And we'll put one thin one right straight through here. And very lightly have them come through here. Just wipe a little bit of that off. Just wipe a little bit of that off. Get it from here. And we'll have him lightly come through like that. Just like that. Just like that. Have them burst through that way. So you see a lot of it is just coming through the trees, skipping some, going through others, that type of thing. And we'll get a little bit of highlight right in there for that one that got the little rays touching over here. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I mean, I can actually have some going over there on the other side too, but we kind of got it peeking through over here a little bit. All right, okay. I think I got one ray angled a little wrong, but you really don't notice it because the sunlight's here, but I got that ray this way, and it should have been coming up through and going further upward. Okay, which also can be corrected by just fading all of that out, but I think you guys pretty much got the gist of the idea. Okay, and that's it really for this lesson. Very simple, talking about perspective, the smaller trees, the larger trees, even the sun rays, because they get wider as they come towards you. Okay, and you see the kind of the radius also, the wider radius, and you get closer towards that center there. I'm going to take that little bit of white, wipe some of that off my finger here, a little bit of white. I'll put it right here and just rub it around there, just like that. Go a little wide with it, just like that. Just to give a nice little pinpoint where that joker is, right up in there, like that. And you still see a little bit of that branch. Okay, just like so. Very effective. Little shot of white there. Okay, so I think we just about did it with this. I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow, some thick yellow, and I'll pop in a couple of little bright spots here, just like that. I'm just teasing a little bit of extra oomph on the top of the hills here with just a little stronger yellow, just like that. Up around in there a little bit, bring some of that down there. You can take some away, a little bit of it here, just like that. I'm just adding a little bit of a glow here and there. You know, like I say, I'm being a little cute with it here. This is really your discretion if you want to go that far with it or not. Like I said, I'm just being a little on the cute side with it, but that's cool. That'll work. Just a play on light and shadow and having a little fun. Good beginner project. Good project for somebody learning and all that good stuff. I'm just gonna sign my name on this. I'd like to thank you for checking this out. I appreciate it. I hope you like it. As you know, my name will be cut across. Why do I keep doing that? My name will be around here somewhere, but you guys already know that already. I'm just gonna put my initials down here real quick. Any comments, put them down below. Any questions, put them down below. Any criticisms, put them down below. There we go. And as customary to most of my videos, as of this time, present time, I usually take the tape off because I gotta show people why I use the clear tape. It has such a very strong, gives you such a very strong edge. Okay. Basically why I like using the clear straight tape, Scotch tape. Very tight very tight corners, very tight border. But make sure I pick a finger that don't have any paint on it, because that just could be disastrous results. You know how they go. But there you go. There you have it. All right. Very small color palette, but a very effective method of painting. Okay. I hope you like this lesson about perspective, and it's actually a linear and aerial perspective, both in one shot. All right. Starting with the ground play, the use of color, the atmosphere, the sun rays. Okay, the placement of the trees is a linear perspective with the hills and the colors. All right, the aerial perspective, obviously with the burst of the sun rays, how they expand as they come towards you, and everything comes to a center point. Okay, except that stray, but basically everything comes to a center point. Okay, which I accented a little bit more. And also with the use of color, the backlit trees, which is why they're dark, and that's why you got highlights on both sides of the larger trees. All right, I could have put a big monster tree in here, maybe like up in here with big monster branches, or just a big old bark tree. I could have did that too, but I kept it a little airy, a little open. You understand it a little bit better. But yeah, I could have put a giant one right here covering all of that. And then, you know, it would probably made a bigger impact with the rays going through and no rays going against the big guy. But I think this will suit better for, like I say, aerial perspective. And plus, it's a very simple paint project for beginning painters to do, and would have quite an impact. All right. Okay. With all that said, my name is Anthony Gray. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you when I see you. Take care of yourselves, and peace.